Hi, welcome to another video on my pneumatic hand and robotic arm. Last time I had to change the setup of the pivoting gear because one single movement totally messed up the construction. And in the end it was still not very good, because this is quite stable as it looks now. It may not look like unstable, but when I start the program, and let me just do that. I hope I can do it quickly. Then not just what you can see, that one direction is apparently preferred, but it also messes up the alignment. So I just stop it for now. This messes it up completely. And then I have to align the gears again. And that is all despite the construction. So when I try to lift it up again, oops, it isn't as stable as should be. Let's do it again. Holding one of the sensors, and now you can see it kind of holds, but not very much. So apart from the software that's in there, I have to really stabilize this construction as well. And as a result, this is what happens. Because of the primarily one way of the pivot gear, it turns about 90 degrees. Needless to say, that's not the intention. So I'll shift this out, turn it back, and shift it in again. So not only this has to be adapted, certainly this has to be. The question is how, and that is the focus once again for this episode. One problem is that this is too easily raised, so I need to have a horizontal fix on this somehow. But on the other hand, I already have it back here, a horizontal fix. And this should not wander off. So let's find out. One solution is to put this combination right here in an attempt to block the movement from the motor in that direction. So this might solve it partly. So let's see how that actually works out. One of the few things that starts immediately is the up and down movement of the arm. However, that is not what I want to happen. So let me start the compressor by touching the fingers. So by now it should have started moving the pivot, but that doesn't do anything right now. Yes, now it does. And you can see what happens. It completely destroys this. So let me take that out. This construction clearly has to be changed. What I can do as well is, for now, change the code, but let me just see what happens when I press a finger. And I press the 5th finger. And I keep pressing it. And even when I press it, you can see, hopefully, here, that, and let me show you that I press the finger constantly. Even then, the clockwise and the counterclockwise are very different. So that doesn't make any sense at all. One is barely 1 second, or 1 second, and the other is easily lasting 3 seconds. And that is absolutely not the intention. Everything should last 1 second. So I better start looking at the code, because this isn't right in any way. And of course, apart from the code, this construction needs to be improved. So, yeah, 2 things. Let's first take a look at the code. So, as seen, we have a problem with the pivot motor, not just setting it up but working as well. And here it is a sleeping time of 1 second. a problem may be that this printing command is giving it a problem as well. So I will just put it here. However, if I look here, it's about doing the same. So let me put this one here. And when I look at the output, there's nothing different. Here it says CCW and CW counterclockwise and clockwise. And unfortunately, in here I don't have some timing. So a nice idea would be to put some timing in here to find out why it takes such a long time. T-digital 1, which is the first finger, is pressed continuously, and then it says counterclockwise and clockwise. Without it, it just goes totally berserk. And let's face, this is 10, 10, 9. These are the up and down sensors from the vertical gear. Those work, obviously. Then I have to go further. Here I start the small finger, so to say, because you have thumb and then 4 fingers, and the last finger is this one. This also makes sure, well, it can be any finger in that, for that matter, but pressing this sensor activates the compressor. Then it goes clockwise and counterclockwise. So all we can do is actually making sure that making sure that what happens, that it happens correctly. So the sequence of this doesn't matter, it should do what it has to do. Let's see what that means. And after that small code change, let's pay attention to this construction. Because if I remove this carefully, all that needs to be done actually is have it from this to this, and that has to be done high enough. So when I put another one of this in here together with this, that actually should be working. So this one goes here, and this is hard enough. And then of course the gearing should stay in place. So the only thing that can happen now is that this part goes up, which is not wanted either. So I need to change that as well. This should also be like this. So let me put this one first. And then this one. Then it still has an escape here, but let's hope it won't come to that. And then it should have absolutely everything to keep it in its place. So with that slight modification, with this even put higher, let's see if it actually does work. So start the program again. There it goes again, in one direction only. Now I press the finger. The finger responds. But the pivot gear doesn't respond. And I still see clockwise and counterclockwise on the screen. The finger is detected. So let me once again show on camera. And again, still the motor doesn't do anything. And yet clockwise and counterclockwise are absolutely working. I'll release the finger, see what will happen. So to see nothing at all. Okay, I stop it. This is rather strange. Let me get the motor this way a little bit so I can turn the whole arm, put it in place again. Let's try one more time. So, yet again, hitting the program. What does it do? Winding with a sensor. Now it goes. Alright, up and down works. Yes. That's compression. because I pressed the finger. And why is the pivot motor not working? That is a very good question. Let me press another one, the thumb. Alright, I'm not pressing anything anymore, just let it go. Ah, there it goes. I press the finger. Alright, I have to stop this because the pneumatic tubes are going in the direction of the gear and I don't want that to happen. So, turning everything back again. And this is holding a little bit, more or less, but I think it needs the same construction here as it has here. Alright, everything in place again. Let's try one more time. And yet again, one direction is lasting longer than the other, even though I press a finger. So that means that my former conclusion was incorrect. Let me correct it again. So, although I need some reconstruction here, similar to here, pressing the finger, and that means either of these fingers, is not helping to get the clockwise and counterclockwise of this motor the same time. Although you've seen in the code that both are 1 second. So whatever is causing this, I still have no idea. I have to find out what it is. So far I'm clueless. And I'll let it be for now. So enough for a next episode. Thank you for watching, and to be continued.